Finally, I got it to work. So, in this episode, as you saw the title, it says math and dimensions. Like, what the fuck? Like, who puts that on a radio broadcast? Who puts dimensions on a podcast? Like, what the fuck? Unless this was a teaching segment, or unless this was a new lesson that I learned and I wanted to teach the world about it. Or just perhaps I wanted to ramble on about theories and math and infinity and all that good shit. Because I know a lot of people out there get really hyped up about science and black holes and wormholes, all that good shit. Anyways, so what the fuck am I talking about? Excuse my language. I do apologize for cussing in this show, but I'm trying to bring more enlightenment or entertainment into the show, and I feel like it's getting there. It's getting there, slowly but surely. So, to get on with the show, what is a dimension? This is just a heads up. This is just a short little show, a short little podcast. I'm not going to go too much into it. I'm not going to go too crazy about what I know or how much I learned. I'm just going to give you a short little taste. And here we go. So, the first dimension is just pretty much like a point, or it's like the starting point, pretty much. Let's say you didn't have any arms, or you didn't have any legs, and you were just there. That would be you. You're just a dimension. Now, let's say you added a 2-dimension, the second dimension. That would be your arms or your legs, and that would be going into whatever direction. Not whatever direction, it would be going left or right or up or down, and going in a straight line. Now, the third dimension, which is 3D or whatever, kind of what we're in, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty much going any direction that you possibly can go. But when it comes to the fourth dimension, that's where it's going to be the issue. And the fifth dimension, the sixth dimension, the seventh dimension, the eighth dimension. And I don't know if anybody ever watched Star Trek Voyager, but they get into this. They get into this quite a lot. And I'm not sure if I'm referencing some of that, or if I am not, or if I am. I don't really give a shit. But anyways, how does the fourth dimension affect the third dimension? Well, the fourth dimension is pretty much the area inside the third dimension. And it's the part where we can't see. So if you were looking at a cube, if you were looking at a circle, if you were looking at yourself, but you were attempting to look at the dimensions inside of you, that would be inept. You wouldn't be able to. You couldn't. Now, with that being said, you can add as many dimensions as you want in the area of that third dimension. So let's say you have a cube built, but inside that cube you want to build like a house, or you want to build like a mansion. Perhaps you want to build a perhaps you want to build a computer. Perhaps we're living in a computer at the moment and we can't see the inside of the computer or whatever it is that we're living in at the moment, because our thoughts, our brain, and whatever that created us told us that our brain can only see what's ahead of us. The only thing that we can't, the only thing that we can see is what we put on paper, or what we draw, or whatever. So if you look at the conspiracy theories, or you look at all these different types of theories, or if you're just a person looking into space, wondering if we have any other life outside of just Earth, the possibilities are endless, because we could be living inside a three-dimensional world, but inside it's four-dimension. There could be another world inside the 3D world. There could be a computer, there could be aliens, and what they're doing is manipulating the three-dimensional world. And perhaps when you get these conspiracy theories, or perhaps when you see these UFOs flying through space or through the sky, perhaps it's a computer simulation, perhaps it's a math equation, perhaps it is aliens just fucking with you at that time, and so forth. And as I said, this was just going to be a short little podcast getting into dimensions. In my next podcast, I'm going to probably talk about how alien life affects the 3D world and the 4D world. So, thank you for listening. Have a great night.